Welcome, all you misfits and metalheads, to the cutting room floor. We are from the band Cut Like This. I am Thorn Black.
I am Rose Blood.
And we are here each and every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 with a brand new episode for you. And by the way, go check out our music here on YouTube and Spotify. So, Rose, what do we have for them today?
Well, today we've got a horror movie that is on Shudder, and it's called The Cleansing Hour.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really interesting concept. I don't think I've actually seen this before, so extra points for originality. It is directed by Damien Levesque, and it stars Max and Drew, who are a pair of millennial webcasting, YouTubing people, and they have a show. They have a show where they do live exorcisms that are elaborately staged hoaxes.
That doesn't sound like anything can go wrong, does it?
Exactly. Now, the lead character of Max, who is the kind of, he's like a priest, but he's not really. He's like a bad boy priest kind of character, and he actually
popping that collar.
I didn't actually recognize him at first, but he's actually Ryan Guzman from Step Up All In and Step Up Revolution, those dance movies. So
I've seen at least one of those. I'm sure I've seen.
Any of you that are fans of like those kind of dance films are gonna be pleased to find out that he's ventured off into some
a different
cool,
genre,
spooky horror stuff.
I like it.
Exactly. So he's a pretty egotistical character, which is surprising for a priest kind of character. But he's obviously kind of a shyster, so it makes sense that he's a little bit of a pretentious douchebag. So he does a really good job.
He does a very
good
job doing that. Actually,
jerk off character, and him and his buddy Drew have kind of a relationship that's kind of drifting a little bit, because Drew's girlfriend kind of wants him to go off and do well. No, not necessarily. I don't think so in this case, because really Max is of a jerk to his friend.
Yeah, definitely.
Max is kind of being an asshole. He's kind of
his on camera character is on point. Like the image
you really start to really dislike this guy.
The image he is selling. Oh my goodness! I'm like, wow. I want to watch your show. I'm like, how do you not like that guy? Like he's doing such a good job.
He's got the charisma for it. The acting gets a little schlocky here and there, but it's good. And it's exactly what they're supposed to be. So they pull it off because they have a concept where these guys are kind of like, actually just regular dudes that are just pretending or whatever. So anyway,
did it for the gram, basically.
As I said, they have these elaborately staged exorcisms, and for their next episode, they lose one of the people that's supposed to come in there. So Drew's girlfriend Lane, is volunteered into having to take the place of that person, and of course, this is where things go terribly, terribly wrong. And we enjoy every second of it.
What happens when you're a fake exorcist and then you really have to do an exorcism?
Exactly.
That's what this movie is.
And without telling too much,
it's pretty entertaining.
We're just gonna say that the effects are great.
Yeah.
And it's really cool kind of seeing them on their movie within the movie, like they're on their set and stuff, and they're you see them pulling off this crazy scene, and then it pulls back and you realize that they're on like a TV set, So really good job on that.
I think they did a really good job too.
I think they did a good job.
I was a big fan of just the concept to begin with, like having a fake exorcism web show, and then like all of a sudden it's like it's reality. And the guy, of course, he's like a little slow to catch on because he's like, follow my lead, I said, and then all this crazy stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
The girl that's playing the possessed character, I think she does a pretty good job.
She does.
I like how she was messing with everybody and getting in their heads, and just the different ways that she would go about attacking different people.
Yes. I will say, for those of you who are fans of like a really snarky kind of bad guy, like Freddy Krueger-ish, kind of like, throwing out one-liners and stuff like that, you're going to enjoy this. If you don't like horror comedies, then you might not want to watch this one because it has it is a
it's
serious,
not a straight up horror comedy.
It's
it might
not
have
a straight up, but it has a lot of funny points in it.
Some funny points in the movie, but there's a lot of like just bad stuff going on.
Yeah,
it's not like horror comedy. I picture like Shaun of the Dead's classic definition of horror comedy. Yeah, that's true. Okay. This is not that heavy on the comedy as Shaun of the Dead.
A non-stop comedy ride like Shaun of the Dead.
There's a couple of amusing moments, but it's not like a comedy. But like,
but it definitely has its funny moments, but it also has really serious moments, and it has a pretty hardcore, kind of little line, which is basically don't fuck with the supernatural.
There's some stuff in it. There's some
because
stuff
you're
in
gonna
it that,
pay for it.
I found a very pleasant surprise in this movie, especially like a little bit later on in it. There's some stuff that I wasn't quite expecting to happen from what they had like laid out already. I was already happy with it, but then they just did a couple extra things that I can't say, big reveal. Sure. But I was like, wow, kudos. I will tip my imaginary hat to you guys. Good job, Shudder. I believe this is a Shudder original. If you don't have Shudder, just do the free trial. There's definitely a couple of things worth watching.
There's so many great movies on Shudder.
These guys
and we are not getting paid by them, although I wish we were. So definitely get your free trial out. Check out a bunch of stuff. We're going to be reviewing a bunch of different things that are on Shudder because it's honestly one of my favorite channels because it is a channel that is dedicated
They are
to
heavy
horror.
on the horror.
It's a channel that was made for people like me.
So,
and maybe people like you too. So out of... Well, we have a chainsaw rating system for those of you who might have missed our older episodes. We have a chainsaw rating system because that's our logo, is 2 cross chainsaws.
Why not, right?
So, out of 5 chainsaws, what would you rate this film?
Out of 5 chainsaws, I was very happy with this film. It's a little indie movie that I wasn't necessarily expecting much, and I left very pleasantly surprised and happy with. So I'm going to give this a solid 4 out of 5 chainsaws.
4 out of 5 chainsaws.
Solid 4 out of 5.
Very
I definitely recommend it.
nice.
I think you'll enjoy this movie. I think you'll enjoy it. Give it a shot. It's worth it. It's new.
If you like something that has a little
now,
bit of a balance of snarky, a little bit of comedic stuff, as well as the scary stuff, you're going to enjoy this movie. If you don't like that kind of thing, if you don't want like a little bit of comedy in there, then, maybe this is a pass for you. I'm going to also give it a 4 out of 5 chainsaws. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was unexpectedly good.
Yeah.
And, I thought it was going to be super cheesy, and I thought it was going to be...
I was I'll give it a shot. And then I saw it and I was like, wow, actually...
Sometimes it can go either way. It can either be really cool or it can be really lame. So this was
that's what happens when you have a good concept.
Yeah.
It's like...
Really
everybody doesn't
concept.
have the biggest budgets, and we understand that. You know what I mean? But like a solid concept and like just thought out good execution, then you get a little hidden gem like this.
Also, for those of you watching the movie, make sure to keep watching throughout the credits because there's actually a little bit of story stuff that's going on in the credits as it goes forward. So
it's not at the very end like Marvel movies at like the end. It's like during the beginning credits they have some imagery. Just watch some of that because some of the story continues through that imagery, and then when the big credits start rolling, that's it. There's nothing after it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we're just going to move right on because I know you're waiting to hear what we have next.
It's time for the anime.
And the anime of the week is The Promised Neverland.
Now, this is not a new anime, but the second season is starting.
I believe it starts in like a week.
Yeah.
Or maybe less. I think it was supposed to be the end of this month.
It's coming soon. Yeah. It's coming very soon, within the week or so. The second season of The Promised Neverland is coming out. So perhaps you might have seen it scroll across your feed on either Netflix or Hulu or Crunchyroll. That's
how you know it's good because it made it to like the big 3. You know?
This was a Shonen Jump manga that was then adapted into an anime. And it looks really cute. So you might have skipped over it thinking that it's like a cutesy thing.
Don't let it fool you, I'm telling you.
No, this is not a slice of life. This is not. a hardcore survival horror.
This is a great psychological thriller of an
really
anime.
Is.
Like
there are some serious, tense, psychological moments where you are just gonna be on the edge of your seats, hoping that these sweet little characters that you become very invested in very quickly, that something terrible doesn't happen to them. And there's just so much going on at this little orphanage. It's very idyllic. It looks really pretty. The art is very nice. Does. It's lit very nice. It's this beautiful, looks kind of like the English countryside, like, green rolling hills and stuff like that. And, these seemingly, very happy little, sheltered little orphan children. And, it kind of ends up focusing on the 3 oldest of the kids in the orphanage, and everybody ends up getting adopted out of this orphanage no matter what, because they're like super high quality or whatever.
Yeah, and they test them like almost every day.
Yeah, they're doing
like
constant
trying to make them as smart as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's for a reason that you'll find out later.
Yeah.
And we're not going to give too much away. We're going to be very very careful.
We can't say too much because then it gives like the big thing of this away, and we just can't do that. It's so worth the payoff. So I'm usually...
Don't look up too much stuff about this. Just go into it blind and watch it so you can really enjoy that twist.
I'm usually a little bit more into animes that have like a little bit more either action or like magical world or isekai kind of stuff. So I wasn't like quite sure what I was going to think about this, but the writing, the character development, the story, the crazy twist throughout. It's not like one big twist. It keeps going. Man, it just had me on the edge of my seat. I'm like, what?
It's a constant mystery that's unraveling. By the time you get to the end of the season, you honestly have even more questions than you have answers.
Yeah.
There's still so much that you don't know, and there's so much that the little characters don't know. And I am not really a person that likes children. Anybody who knows me,
what intelligent,
is gonna know
what
that.
intelligent
But
children,
these are
right?
really smart kids.
These kids are so smart
because they've been trained. They've been taking like practically like SAT tests every single week. They're constantly being tested and trained and stuff, but it's in like a cute little classroom setting and stuff. They don't really show like a ton of that, but that's basically the environment that they're in. They have, no worries and stuff. They have their who they call Mama, Isabella, who is their caretaker that watches over them at this orphanage. And then this orphanage also has some rules that seem like they're normal, like you're not supposed to go past this gate. Okay, well, there's woods around and stuff like that. You don't want your kids to wander off and they could get hurt or something like that. But you find out that there's a lot more to this place
than that. Yeah,
and you start to see little unsettling details, even as
looking.
As there's all this little cute stuff. Even in the first couple of moments, you're seeing this beautiful location and these cute little happy kids, but then you also start noticing little details.
Yeah, like the who they call Mama or Mom, like just the look on her face, just like look at her face, like the first episode.
Really pay attention to her.
Just look at like that smile and those eyes. I'm like, are you all right? Like, what's going on behind those eyes? Like, I don't know.
And
something seems a little bit off.
You're gonna find
There's
out.
a lot of little bit off that you start picking up.
A lot more about her as it goes on.
It's a lot of it off. So just do everybody a favor. Do myself a favor. Do yourself a favor. If you like anime, you have to watch The Promised Neverland. It's a standout. It's just a hit. It's just like...
It's really good.
Yeah, the
it's
story
really,
is so
really
good
well
that
done.
it's just like, what?
And it's really, it came from Shonen Jump, and it's actually like surprisingly dark for Shonen Jump, I would say. This is a very dark anime. The main characters are Emma, Norman, and Ray. Ray is kind of like the darker haired, like cooler looking, kind of, and he's more like...
You mean like me?
Yeah, he's kind of like, he kind of looks like he'd be the bad boy kind of character. He's like a little bit, sometimes he's abrasive. Like the people that he cares about, he's there for them. That's it. That's his peeps. But everybody else is kind of like interchangeable to him. He doesn't really give a shit. So he's kind of the more cunning guy. Norman is like the prodigy, super genius of the group. Like he has the highest test scores and everything. And then the character Emma is so freaking cute. She's so brave and she's so sweet and she has like the biggest heart and you just are rooting for her. And she gets put through the ringer, man. And but she's still like, no matter what, she's like the person that like, if you want to see something where the characters are actually really smart and they approach things intelligently, you know?
That's one of the things that really did it for me.
Yeah.
Was like
they
how
really
intelligent the writing was. Not
smart.
only was it like good character development and making me like kids when I don't usually care for like the whole like I'm 11 years old saving the world. I'm like, come on, like really, like stop it.
Yeah.
You know, they did such a good job making these characters likable, believable, and intelligent, and everything they did. I'm like, who wrote this? You're a genius. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. That's
what
somebody
like
who's really
thinking
about
doing,
what's going on is going to try to do. They're not just going to just sit there and twiddle their thumbs or only panic. You know, it's like, yeah, there's a little bit of panic, but what do you do after that? You know,
exactly.
And I'm like, these kids are brilliant writing.
It even makes people
I think
people
we
like
just have
us
to go
that really
to the
don't
rating.
give a crap.
Yep. I think we have to rate it.
Like them.
Rose, what are you going to rate the Promised Neverland?
I am going to rate The Promised Neverland 5 chainsaws.
5 chainsaws. Second
5 chainsaws.
Matt. Yes.
And I can't wait to see this next season.
Yes.
I have been sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for this to happen because it was so dramatic. And it, you know, every single episode where you think you understand what's happening.
So many cliffhangers too.
No, it's just constant. Like, you know, it's like frustrating, but also exciting. You know, this is the perfect time to check out The Promised Neverland
with
because,
the
like
second
I said,
season coming
the second
around the
season
corner
is right around the corner. So
yeah.
do yourself a favor.
If you haven't seen it, watch
check it out right now.
Because you have like, I don't know,
drop everything else,
roughly a week or
plow
so,
through it.
and
just
then
plow through it.
The next one is out. So like, and you're really gonna need that next season. If you see the first season, there's no, you're gonna just steamroll straight into the second one when it comes out, and you'll thank us. So
yes, you will.
Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of these. If you have seen them, let us know your thoughts. If you haven't seen them, come back and drop us a little message.
And in those comments, please. Don't drop any spoilers for the people. We're really trying to be careful in our reviews here. We're just really passionate about horror movies and anime, and we just want to share all the really fun ones that we like the most with you. So don't screw it up for everybody by putting a big old spoiler in your comment.
That's right.
You know, just you know, give me what
Snitches
you can.
Get stitches.
Yeah, give me what you can. Don't destroy it. Leave the mystery there because there are so many juicy mysteries in this anime. You're gonna be just sitting thinking after every episode like, oh man, like what is, I don't even know what's gonna, and they're just faced with this impossible situation and you're like, there's no way in hell that they can pull this off. Like this is like, how are you gonna do this? And they're pretty ingenious in the way that they approach things.
I agree.
I think you're really gonna get a kick out of it and really enjoy it.
And you're welcome. Once again, we are from the band Cut Like This. We have music right here on YouTube. We got a couple
2
of
music videos.
Please
we have
give us some views
several
and some
songs from our album. We're also on Spotify.
Go check us out on Spotify.
And if you like this, please leave us a comment, like it, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it out. Every Wicked Wednesday and Sinister Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, you will find us here sharing what we love with all of you.
Until next time, we're out.